Ah, there we go. I unmuted in the mixer. I did not mute in... I did not unmute in OBS. Oops. Hello, hello. So fancy, right? The only downside of that stuff, of having fancy stuff, is there's more ways for things to go wrong. Like, oh my goodness, yesterday I was playing around with Switch 2 capture, trying to see if I could get it consistent. I still don't know if I've got it consistently working. Maybe? I hope so. I don't want to have to mess around with it for half an hour every single time. I guess we'll find out. I think I got it. The big issue is the mixer. If you want to get audio... Got a lot of good work in by the end of the Mario Kart stream, true. Yeah, the thing with the mixer is it wants to grab from a specific program. And since I am not using... Like, I'm basically using the capture card as a camera in OBS. And that's how I've been doing it. So there is no quote-unquote program for it to grab. Because, yeah, if you start adding in a... Well, I mean, if I capture through another program, then that probably would fix a lot of stuff, but it might also introduce more problems. So, at least now that I have a new capture card, it should work, because my old one, which probably still works, but now it's just too old to function with Windows 11. Like, Elgato stopped supporting it ages ago. So when they discontinued their program that you could use to have like a window, like a program window for your capture software, I had to start using the capture card as a camera, so yada 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 yada. Yeah, I also just experienced from direct capture and watching source projector. Yeah, that's what I do as well. And that works perfectly 90% of the time. But then, yeah, I have to use desktop audio to get the capture for the Switch 2 that way, and then it's like half the time I won't get sound in my headphones or in OBS, and then I might be able to get the sound through my headphones, but then I still can't get it in OBS. The solution is just never to play anything on the Switch 2 again. No, that's not the answer. I'm just joking. OBS one big stupid, so true. God, that's right. Just trying to play a console through your PC interface? Yeah. Well, I can play around. I mean, if I've consistently figured out how to make it work, then that's good. OBS was also being stupid today. That's why stream was late. So, like, see the little cafe game at the bottom of the screen here? That is supposed to allow you to be transparent. OBS refused to understand allow transparency, so it was just showing with a black background. And I'm like, okay, is this... So I, like, tried to chroma key it out, and it just deletes the whole game. Like, no matter what color you pick, suddenly you can't see the game. I'm like, okay, that's not the fix, then. Like, I tried this, I tried that. Finally, I just had to use the Alt button which lets you crop the captured window. So I cropped out all of the black background stuff that's supposed to be transparent, but OBS is like, nah, not today. God damn it. So yeah, there's like, I have menus open for this game that you guys can't see because like I had to crop that out along with the black background. OBS lessons with Dee, a group study, God. I don't feel like I'm particularly better than anyone else, but after 3 years, I at least got the gist of it. I at least have the gist of it. But oh gosh, talking about Iduna, because she was keeping me company over text message while I was going through my awfulness on Friday. OBS is a beast and you do a lot of fancy stuff. Yay! Gosh. Yeah, so poor baby. Yeah, it was not fun. So, for context for those who are newish and they don't know, I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Without getting into the fanciness, it basically means my body has a hard time digesting certain things, and like it can still technically digest it. It's just you're gonna get a lot of gas and you're gonna get a lot of pain because of the gas, all of that stuff. And Iduna and I had been suspecting red meat was one of those things for me for a while, but the cat's tummy is sensitive. Fork found in kitchen. Gosh, so true. Sounds like your brain trouble digesting. So true. So yeah, and just like your voids, yeah, both Pep and Mogu have sensitive digestions. That was why when we adopted Pep and Mogu, and we took them to the vet because, you know, they were having a lot of problems, and the doctor basically diagnosed them with, like, the feline equivalent. We were driving back, and Mama Mel's just like, you would pick the whole cats in, like, PetSmart that have stomach problems. I'm like, I'm sorry. But yeah, with IBS, they discourage outright eliminating foods unless, like, you sincerely cannot seem to find an amount that doesn't trigger your symptoms. So I was like, oh, yay, burger. I could technically have burgers. Turns out, if I have a burger, the patty's got to be less than 7 ounces. So far, that is maximum we found before. So, like, you're trying to find the maximum amount you can have without having symptoms, right? I've made, like, those little slider burgers at home and been fine. So the maximum amount of red meat Dee can have is somewhere between, like, you know, however many ounces those little sliders are and, like, 7 ounces. Because, yeah, we left the restaurant, and I'm like, oh, wow, like, I feel like I need to do jumping jacks because, you know, this is kind of sitting like a lump in my stomach. Little did I know the fate that was going to befall me. Just started getting super, super nauseous, like, about an hour later. And there's a pharmacy nearby. Because, like, you know, I may work at the apothecary, but I'm not allowed to use our for my own medicinal needs. Some homeless guy outside of the pharmacy asked if I was okay. So I must have looked like I was probably white as a sheet or something like that. And I'm like, oh my god. It's like, when the people who are in very bad situations are like, oh my god, are you okay? I'm like, oh man. Fortunately, like, it was already close to the end of the day. But I was like, gosh, yeah. And then the worst part for me is, since it was a gourmet burger, it was like $30 for lunch. And I'm like, I would feel better if I threw up. But I spent so much money. So I was like, I tried like gravel and ginger and like all this stuff to try and settle my stomach. Did not happen. I'm like, crap. And then because I was sick before leaving work, I left work late. So I missed the bus and I'm like, I feel like if I stand here for 20 minutes waiting for the bus, doing nothing but thinking about how I don't want to throw up, I'm just gonna end up throwing up. And you know, throwing up with a bunch of people around is even worse than just throwing up in general, you know? Like, throwing up in public is a very, very different thing. And I hate throw up anyway. Like, it's like a squick thing for me. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So then Iduna was like, well, is it gonna be expensive for like an Uber? I'm like, no, it's actually relatively cheap, but there's so much traffic. I'll run into the same problem of standing there waiting for the bus or like waiting for them to get to me. And then, you know, you've got the issue of what if you throw up in a stranger's car? Some of the idea of throwing up on the bus was less awful than throwing up in a stranger's car. So I'm like, I'm just gonna walk. And you do just like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, the cold air is actually feeling nice. And I'm like, hopefully if I exercise, that's gonna help move everything through the digestive tract. Because that's the thing with OBS. Once you digest, or like, you know, once like, you know, the food is out of your stomach, that's gonna stop the nausea at least. Like, I'll still have other symptoms. But yeah, it has, yeah, it was something. So I get home and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna have a nap. And then yeah, by the time I napped, the nausea was gone. But then, like, you know, it's all in my small and large intestines at that point. So then it's massive stomach ache. And I'm like, yeah, I can't stream like this. Like, I can barely sit up and eat like this. Come Saturday morning, I'm like, well, I'm glad today was already a break day. But yeah, by that point, it's all just like a ton of gas. And I'm like, this has been a whole 12-hour misadventure. Delightful. Great. But then, yeah, I was joking with Iduna. It's like, all right. Like, what did we learn from this experience? And the answer is, you can only eat burgers under 7 ounces. And then I made a joke. Like, the lesson we learned is don't go out to socialize. It's like, no! It's like, yes, my mistake was going to hang out with people. I should have just stayed in the office. That is indeed the lesson, right? It was nice enough to hang out with them. They got to get the full proper DD experience. Because I'm very quiet at work. I mostly keep to myself because my brain's sort of like, we're here to work, not socialize. So I hate it when people are like shouting at each other over like their workstation dividers and like all of that stuff. But you get me at a restaurant where you're supposed to socialize, then it's like, oh yeah, here are my cats. Here's this, here's that. It's like, if you want to make moist burgers at home, here's what you do. It's like all that stuff. Giving me Kobayashi vibes from Dragon Maid. Close enough, yeah. I'm not antisocial. I am just introverted. And again, it's funny to think of, because I was joking with Iduna, like, they probably think I am so shy, and I noticed one of them was trying really hard to make me feel comfortable. And I'm like, oh, and it's like, I'm fine. I just don't want to talk to anyone. I'm here to do my job, not make friends. Like, mistake. It's like, you sure you want to unleash the true Dee Dee? Cause yeah, that's literally what ends up happening with people. They're like, oh, she's so shy, and then they're like, oh my god, she never shuts up. Had a bit of drama happen, but in that story, it really wasn't that deep. Oh no! One of the other fishermen here who fixes the equipment thinks you're antisocial? You? Miss Frickin' Social Butterfly? Gosh. I think I've told stories before about being with Iduna and Ace at conventions. And I'm already tired and groggy and cranky because it's lunchtime. Meanwhile, because Iduna and Ace talk to everyone, we keep getting stopped every, like, 3 feet by people going, oh my god, hey, it's nice to see you. And I'm here like, bow, bow. Bow, bow, thank you for hydrate. I have, like, a mint tea here. But yeah. We'll leave at 12 p.m. to go down. It'll be 3 p.m. Dee Dee is ready for bed, and I'm like, I just got started. Pretty much. It was so funny, though. Because Iduna and Ace got stopped for a photo because they were in, like, a matching, like, couple cosplay. And I thought I was out of the shot. Like, the photographer didn't tell me, oh, hey, Dee Dee, can you, like, move a little more this way so you're out of it? I'm in the background. And I looked so miserable. I knew the exact shot. Yeah. And, like, seeing it, I'm like, oh my god. Like, literally. Like, I can't even describe it. I just looked like I hated everyone. I didn't want to be there. And I was just really, really hungry at that point. But yeah, it was very much like, oh my god. That's terrible. Yeah, Iduna knows the exact shot. And I'm like, oh my god. And then on top of being embarrassed by how disgruntled I look, I'm also embarrassed that I quote-unquote ruined the picture. Because the photographer didn't tell me to move. Like, oh my god. Why didn't anyone say anything? I used to be like, the reason no one asks me for cosplay photos is because I'm ugly. And I'm like, I probably just have the worst resting witch face in the world. And people are like, oh, I don't want to talk to her. It's the men do not speak to me, do not breathe near me. Doesn't happen too often, but yeah, there were some cosplays where a lot of guys tried to talk to me, and I'm like, especially in Fate cosplays, I'm like, for the love of Lord, please, someone please spare me. Please save me. And that's like, sometimes they're not even being creepy, I'm just like, I just really don't want to talk to you. But if you tell people to, like, piss off a lot of the time, like, it just turns into a whole scene. Ah. It's like, I'm just here waiting for my friends, and then it becomes, oh, I'll just entertain you. Until then, it's like, no! My solo time is recovery time. Go away! Dee Dee is good for getting rid of the creeps, though. just ask Iduna the amount of times I've just intercepted someone being weird, and I'm like, yeah, no. We're not doing this. Dee Dee's strong. Literally, like, there was one where they were trying to, like, they kept trying to talk to Iduna, and I kept going, like, I started being nice. Like, oh, hey, we gotta get going, because, like, you know, we have a photo shoot in, like, 10 minutes or, like, whatever else. And this guy just keeps going and going. And finally, I am literally standing in between Iduna and the dude, and I've got my arms raised, so she's completely blocked from view because I'm shorter than Iduna, right? And I'm just standing there glaring at the guy, and he's still trying to talk, and I'm like, hello, we're leaving. And then I just grab her and go at that point. This is the one who tried to hug you? Oh, yeah. I have no problems being, like, quote-unquote the villain when I have to, like, save my friends. I did this for, there were some girls I knew from online, and we met when we were all in high school. By that point, I was university age, but they were a couple years younger than me. And they were still in, like, high school. And they dressed up as maids, and these weird dudes kept trying to talk to them. And the girls were not happy that I chased the guys away, but I'm like, y'all, you're in maids and you're in high school. Any dudes who are this persistent in talking to you are just bad freaking news. Just trust me on this. I had been online when this one person stole your phone number off Skype. I remember that. You have been through some crazy stuff. Welcome to cosplaying. When you are two decently attractive people. And then plus Iduna has we'll call it anime proportions. We'll put it that way. So yeah, the people with no social skills are just like, it's like easy prey. It's like, no. No, I will eat you. I will eat you. It's like, I will straight up eat you. You did not just say anime proportions. I didn't want to say outright. Like, I was like, I could say hourglass, but that doesn't really convey that. And if I said you can't see your feet when you look down, people who don't have booba won't understand what that means. You're wheezing good. When Iduna shows up in chat, it is just chaos. Because then Dee Dee's filter goes out the window. So yeah, I keep myself restrained 95% of the time for you guys. Because I am, like, not interested in being chaotic streamer, but I definitely have my moments. I bring the wild? Yeah, but then you're still even worse. I love the moonbeams who are like, oh, when Iduna starts streaming, I'm gonna go watch her, and I'm like, you are so sweet. But you can't even handle me swearing. You are not prepared for this. Like, please do still support Iduna, but keep in mind, she is much more out of left field than I am. Like, there are plenty of moments IRL where she'll say something and I just, like, both me and her husband just put our face in our hands, like, why? Potty mouth is a word for it? Remember what she said about the Sonic 3 movie? It's just that stuff. It's less potty mouth and more she's lewd. That's how it goes. Alright, I have yapped at y'all for long enough, I think. Let me... Because there's a Pomodoro here. But am I going to be able to get it to show? Oh my god, you can have a chicken noise as the alarm on this thing. That is hilarious. Hang on, we're gonna... So you guys can actually see the timer, I'm gonna do something, a little clever, a little crazy. Because, like I said, I had to crop out, the extra area of this because of... it being weird and not allowing transparency. Oops. Not that. There's that one. Come on, where is it? Do. I have too many sources in this scene. Aw, come on. Fine. I was trying to make it... Remember my first comments about Alhaita? That never stopped. I was the one who made the joke about that, if I remember correctly, and you just adopted it. Then again, it's been like 3 years. Who can keep track at this point? And ran with it, and ran with it. Ran so far away, Saint Seiya. Oh, when I minimize the window, then the timer shows up. There we go. Don't sleeper activate me a second time in a week. Okay. So we've got the usual, 25 minutes. And then 5-minute break. And then, 15-minute long break, etc., etc. Hi, Name! So I will see you guys shortly for our break, yip and yap. For now, let's try and lock in and get some stuff done. So I will see you guys on the other side. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. break time. Good job. I made myself a snack, so if you hear me crunching, my bad. What do we got to work on today? Lord questions time? Sure. If you got 'em, why not? Oops. That is not what I was trying to move. There we go. Trying to center stuff. What kind of snack? I made a smoothie, technically, but I make it with less, like, liquid than usual, so it's more like, sherbet, I'd guess? Oat milk, strawberries, frozen bananas. Okay, you mentioned something about having a staff for your next model. Is the model important to the lore? Yes and no. Because like I said before, we each have our innate magic. But we can learn other types of magic. The staff is to accommodate that. It's for channeling different energy that isn't innate, basically. In Fairy Tail, which is an anime I really like, they have magic that's innate. And they have magic that you can use via tools. It's like that, basically. Munch. Is this one different? Yes. Because, we discussed the possibility of, like, you know, quote-unquote, like, evil deity. Like, the deity who finds out their masters died and is out for vengeance. It would be a very different look than, like, you know, sort of normal magical girl-esque deity, so... would want a different staff to go along with that. Excuse me. Oh yeah, this cafe game's cute. You get tips and stuff. Oh, hang on. This is cafe. This is like wasteland. We haven't been able to expand into yet. Here's the kitchen. And here's all the fields. Everyone in the field, dresses. I dressed them all like frickin' Saber from Fate Stay Night. They've all got that little outfit. Ah, yeah, see, now you guys can see the black bar. When we're in the cafe, you can't see it, but here you can. Would assume evil deity is from a parallel timeline where the master died and you became evil. Correct! And you know what evil deity means? Evil moonbeams. Fluff balls, but you guys have got the angry eyebrows. Moonbeams! I love that! That's perfect. Gave me so much elite knowledge, right? What are we doing today? It is a co-working stream. So we chit-chat during breaks, and then during work time, we buckle on down, and the timer has just switched over, so that is perfect timing. I apologize to anyone who got stuck in ads. I noticed the break and the ads could be perfectly timed if I snoozed it for 5 minutes, so here we are. Alrighty. Back to it, folks. I will see you guys on the other side. Hydrate, posture check, thank you. I have some mint tea I've been sipping at, so I will have some more. Alrighty, see you guys on the other side.
やりたいことありすぎてやばいか。
へへ悩みがあるなら何でも聞くよ。
Break time! Good job! Gosh, these 25 minutes just fly by. Truly, when you get into the swing of working, it's just mind. Poof. Question time! Question time. It's time for the questions. You got questions? I might have answers. Dun, 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 dun. Gosh. I'm excited for Haruhi tonight. I've already got Hare Hare Yukai stuck in my head. Nazo Nazo Chikuni Okay, how do parallel dimensions work in your lore? Are they rifts in space, in time, portals? What's the deal? I would say portals, because that is also how I got from the moon / the exoplanet down to Earth / the current planet. Looking forward to it. Excellent. Yeah, I feel like the thing that sticks the most in people's heads with Haruhi after you watch it is the music scene festival where they sing God Knows. Understandable, it is a banger of a song. A moon means how are they grown? Is it also through the pea pods? Yes, it is also through the pea pods. The difference in temperament comes down to the fact that you guys essentially function as like my familiars, you know, like corrupts like attracts like, that kind of stuff. Choices were pretty tough because Haruhi was too low for you to remember. You really liked Parasite, and Kisniver was one I planned on watching at release. Kisniver, as someone who actually watched Kisniver, it's not terrible. It was decent, but I remember being a little disappointed in it. It's kind of like you go in expecting more sci-fi, and it just turns into weird teen drama. Because, like, the whole concept of Kisniver is that all the protagonists are interconnected, so like they can share each other's thoughts and sense of touch and stuff like that. But unfortunately, they don't do anything too interesting with it. And that might come down to the fact that it was only like 13 episodes. I remembered being into it, and then like partway through, it just evolves into love like Pentagon stuff where no one gets with the character they like. So it's like, oh man. How is the daily life of Dee Dee in the lore? Is she doing chores and working at the apothecary, or is she fighting demons? Dee Dee, daily life, it is chores and working at the apothecary. That is what's the contrast to evil Dee Dee, where I am out there actively hunting stuff. Because, remember, for the most part, the human world is pretty chill. There's, like, not really stuff for us magical beings to, like, fight crime or anything like that. On the exoplanet, things are a little different because there are other magical creatures. And in that case, you need to help those weaker, if that is your motivation. But yeah, in the human world, it is just like our human world. Like, you know, like, I mean, I guess I could go fight the police or something like that, but it's a little bit of overkill. sounds a little bit how Darling in the Franxx panned out. Yeah, that is essentially how it panned out. Kisniver and Darling in the Franxx roughly came out around the same time, now that I think about it. It's a consequence of that era, I suppose. Because, yeah, Darling in the Franxx also had some very interesting stuff, but it's just the presentation ended up being a little Because, like, for those who don't know Darling in the Franxx, one of the whole things was this heavy push on heterosexuality and stuff, because, like, you know, you had to be... The only way you could pilot these robots were the male and female. Or, like, it had to be male and female pairs and, like, all this stuff. There were a lot of metaphors. And there is a character who ends up being queer, but they don't do anything interesting with the fact that she's queer. And also, you know, the protagonist is struggling with being a good pilot. And it turns out, you know, it's just that he doesn't have the right partner. It's not that he's queer or ace or anything like that. So, often I find Studio Trigger tries to do interesting stuff using sexuality, but because of how Japan is, and not being, like, they're more tolerant of LGBT stuff now, but still, like, you know, for the most part, it is still illegal to get married and all that stuff. So, the environment that Trigger finds themselves in, I find, really ends up stunting some of their more interesting attempts. Because, I mean, even to this day, you got people who are like, oh, Ryoko and Mako from Kill la Kill aren't gay. And then the character designer literally every other week is drawing art of Ryoko and Mako living their daily life together as adults. The episode, in the last episode, Mako literally asks her out, and it's like using all of these imagery of how like a typical date will go about, but yeah, they can't firmly confirm it because, like, you know, Japan. Ah, such is life. But yes, Didi versus the law. Alright, speaking of the law, well, not really. Cats are going a little bananas, and it is not break time again. It is study time again. So I will see you guys in 20 or so minutes. Howdy! Thanks for the resub! A whole year! My goodness, time flies. Welcome in, Ein! Alrighty. I will see you guys on the other side of this study session. Hang in there! Alrighty. 3, 2, 1.
Speed up. 我が命を洗礼よご引弾陣雷よ勇気を打ち滅ぼせ安全運転でよろしくねよーく見てるんだよここ
実に僕が全て解き明かす。警戒隊を同一。最高。
小悪退散。我が命をして神霊よ回復してあげるよ。はっへいほっ来剣。安全運転でよろしくね。もっと賑やかに。我が命をして神霊よ来水よ化け物を滅せよ。雷山召喚。安全運転でよろしくね。ほら私の直筆サイン入り。何色にする？ちょっとママか。もっと賑やかに。小さく
確実に同一。これが僕の真理だ。最高。
我が命をして神霊よご忍者。回復は必要。安全運転でよろしくね。急カーブ。ちょっと奪えると思ったのに。ほら私の直筆サイン入り。その程度なの。
確実に同一。僕が全て解き明かす。最高。見えた。最高。効率よく行こう。
break time! Oh my goodness. Where is the time going? It all just flies by. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's already 2:30. That is bananas. That is crazy. Time? What is time? So yeah, as y'all could judge from my audio goof, we are doing some editing behind the scenes. What am I editing? You will find out eventually. As always. I'm trying to get better about doing all this stuff far enough in advance. Unsure if successful or not, but hey. It is what it is. Sounds like a nice surprise. I am trying. In this particular case, I got the idea sort of last minute, so I'm a little under the water. Should be okay still. But yeah, all in good time. Brain empty. Nothing in head but editing. But that's okay. It's mostly studying after all. Big stretch. Should actually get up and move around. But we're about to get started again in a moment, so... Hydrate, yes. I've still got some tea, but I'll probably get something else to drink at the same time. Alright. Ad break's gonna kick in a minute, so I will see you guys on the other side. Otherwise, we are back to studying. Here we go! no. Hey, it's long rest time. Because we're at the end of the set. That was 2.5 hours. We'll do like a shorter set for the last one, so we wrap up around 4-ish. We started like half an hour late. Excuse me. Sorry to yawn on you guys. I took migraine meds earlier because my eyes were getting a little funky like they do before I get migraine. So hopefully I avoid the worst of it. But yeah, getting suddenly tired, that's always a sign. Not this week, please. It's a short week anyway. Because I'm going on vacation, so I'm only at work for 3 days. Don't make me call in sick because of migraines. Sigh. We will see how it goes. You know when you try and stretch and like something pops or cracks and it's like, this wasn't really painful, but also, ow. Oops. Well, I reset the timer. My bad. I was trying to check something and then when I clicked confirm, they're like, whoop, we're gonna restart everything. Whatever. I will just keep an eye on the time, and I guess we'll get back into the swing of things quicker. Since we're only hoping to do like another hour and a half at most. So that would be like, yeah, 2 sessions, technically. But yeah, neutering? That's not the right word. Numbing the difficulty for Fire Emblem is something. I mean, you get so many people who started with Awakening and Fate that had the Phoenix mode, so neutering the difficulty. I mean, that is essentially what they're doing, but yeah. Quite late, so you might have seen it already, but one of the differences between them is EU runs at 50 hertz, while the other one's at 60. Oh, gosh. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. I never would have thought of that in terms of, since Europe runs on different electrical standards, that would influence things. Learn something new every day. Today I learned. That explains why regional systems are locked. Correct. Electricity standards was part of them having different TV standards? Yeah, I'd imagine so. You don't hear it quite as much as you used to anymore, but you used to hear all the time about, oh yeah, if you're going on vacation in Europe, make sure you get you buy an adapter for all your, electronics, because otherwise it's not gonna work, and yada 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 yada. I'm sure it's still a thing, but you hear it much less frequently. So I think maybe a lot of stuff now will be fine? Question mark. Now there's a question. Yes, you almost always need a physical plug adapter for Europe because European outlets use different shapes. Oh. A voltage converter, but most modern electronics are dual voltage and only need the adapter. Ah. So we're trying to shove square pegs into round holes. That's the problem. But yeah, a lot of modern equipment knows how to run on both. So yeah, your hairdryer, you probably need both. Your phone/laptops, probably fine. That begs the question though, what do they do for grounding? Or do they use the 2 round prongs for better grounding? Because, you know, in North America, we get 2, like, rectangular prongs and then 1 round one for grounding. Oh, we're going down the rabbit hole now. That is a good question, right? Yeah. Used round prong plugs like type C/F for historical reasons, including early beliefs that round pins offered a more secure fit, easier manufacturing. Okay. Yeah, so it is grounding. Voltage and safety. Many European countries adopted higher voltages, and round pins became part of early grounding designs to ensure safety. Cool. That's about what I thought. So yeah, they have multiple round pins because you could much more easily electrocute yourself, so they needed better grounding. The horrors of the people that figured out that was necessary. Like, gosh. We haven't gotten around to the Great Ace Attorney yet. But playing that one is interesting because it's set in, like, you know, Victorian England. So you learn some interesting stuff, like, for heat, they literally had a meter in every, like, apartment. And if you wanted heat for the night, you had to feed it coins right then and there for it to turn on. There was no, like, you know, monthly heating bill or something. Every single night, if you wanted heat, you had to feed the meter. And then also, there was the window tax, which is the government realized they needed more money, so they decided to tax households based on the number of windows. Because the general belief was if you were rich, you would have a building with more windows. Which in theory works, but then everyone started bricking up their windows. So if you had, like, a landlord and he didn't want to pay extra taxes, well, now you don't have a window. which nowadays is considered illegal. Like, legally, there needs to be, I forget the exact standards, but yeah, there needs to be a window in apartments and, like, all of that stuff. It's literally, like, human rights stuff now. It's like right to sunlight, I believe. Similarly, like, if you have a window, but you don't get as much light because of the building next door, technically that's not supposed to happen. Technically, they're not supposed to build something that would block off a significant portion of sunlight. We have a percentage natural light law. Yeah. Feel like they're more inset into the plate wall. That too, yeah. But yeah, that was interesting. Like, I knew about some of this stuff, but yeah, feeding the meter specifically to get, like, heating or electricity every day, like, that sucks. And, like, nowadays, we have laws, besides the bedrooms, there's only one window in your house. Well, the laws differ based on where you live. That sounds insane, though. Maybe it's from the thinking that more windows will let more sunlight and let more heat in, because you're in a tropical climate. Yeah, but having the windows covered helps keep the heat absorption. Yes. In Canada, yeah, there's like... It's rare if there isn't a window in every room. Like, as long as the room has an exterior-facing wall, there's gonna be a window. Like, window in kitchen. Window in bathroom. Window in bedrooms. Window in living room. Window in the entranceway. Because, yeah. Apartments are a little weird that way, because you can't get windows on both sides because we have interior-facing hallways. But sometimes I wish we did, so you could get a cross breeze to help cool the place down. But alas, we do not. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes, so let us return to the working. We're probably gonna do a shorter set, so we wrap up around like 4 to 4:30. But I will see you guys on the other side. Spooky always says that window should be open occasionally, but I've never opened mine since for the heat we have AC running 24/7. Yeah, opening the windows, I have heard about that specifically. From what I recall reading, it is a very German thing to open the windows every day. From what I recall reading, because the idea is it promotes better airflow, and that way, you know, mold and all that stuff can exit. Though that's wishful thinking, because just opening a window doesn't mean all of the bad air is gonna get sucked out like a vortex. Air the room out with sunlight. That's true. Iduna's family is German. And I mean, yeah, my parents open stuff in the morning, but that's to help with the electricity bill and cool the place down. That is not for, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not for air quality. Local heat and humidity, yeah. Also, European windows are much nicer. I mean, there's more of a risk sometimes, but like, you know, here, they open left to right or up and down, and there's the sliding thing. European windows, they open out on a slant. So airing out the place actually works better because air is drawn down through one gap and pulled in through the gap up top. So circulating the air works better with those kinds of windows. Here, it's like, yeah, cool, I opened a window. That's not gonna do anything. Alrighty. Let us continue with the Pomodoros. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. good job. Welcome back. Me. I made my schedule for this week. Schedule's very easy to make when there's only like 3 days. Scream at me. It only... Cats, I tell ya. Girl? Hello? They have no sense of time. They're like, I'm hungry now. That's it. Deal with it. So cute and distracting. It's like it's time you paid attention to me. I'm working on it, girl. I'm working on it. Don't I always have a nap with you after I'm done stream? I know, I'll pet you. She keeps going to the other side of my chair. It's like, if you want my attention. I'm not saying you have to stay still, but you do have to move in a predictable pattern. You are a sweet potato. He's so cute. She just wants all the attention, girl. Squish, squish. I know. I know. Timer's gonna start in 2 minutes. Can you wait? I don't think she can. Okay. Hold on. Good grief, children. I tell ya. Such impatience. But then again, when you're hungry, you're hungry. Same. Well, go eat. All right. I got another 20 minutes. You're done washing your hair. Congratulations. How long did that take ya? Welcome back, Zexu. Well, I guess welcome in. All right. Last round for the Pomodoro? Like an hour? I guess with the hair texture, that would do it. Rest in peace. Alrighty. We shall return. Hold tight. day. Yippee! Good job, everybody. Alright. So I put my schedule together during this working session, so that'll go up tonight. Might even be shortly before watch-along, we'll see. I might have a nap before that, so we'll see what ends up happening. But tomorrow's still gonna be my usual break day. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no stream because I'm going to go visit Mama and Papa Melis. Might try if Mama and Papa Melis's Wi-Fi is stable enough. I might try and do like some community gaming Mario Kart or something else with you guys. Because Mama and Papa Melis are early birds. Every time I've gone to visit them, they've gone to bed at like 7 p.m. So then it's just me by myself in their basement for like 4 to 5 hours until I fall asleep. So, now that I have some multiplayer games, hopefully I can get some company and we can hang out, even if we don't talk. But yeah, I will keep you guys posted. I might be able to finish the surprises for you guys, so you guys will have something extra this week in lieu of my streams. Fingers crossed. It depends how much I'm able to get done in terms of editing and stuff, but I'm hoping to have at least one surprise for you guys. One, I should definitely be able to manage. I was hoping for 2 to 3. That might have been too ambitious. If I had thought of this earlier, might have been able to pull it off, but we will see. We will see. For now, let's see who I can send you guys to for a raid. Let's see. I just fed you. You silly girl. Oh my god, Jemmy's running on auditions. That's crazy. Good for her. Astro is playing Elden Ring. That sounds perfect. It's always fun to watch people play Elden Ring. Okay. Here is a raid. Here's Discord. We're gonna be starting Haruhi Suzumiya for our watch alone, and that'll be in 3 hours. We're starting with the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Are we gonna be watching it in airing order or chronological order? It depends what order Crunchyroll has them in. I'm assuming if they're doing it episodes 1 through like whatever, it's gonna be in airing order, which means the timeline's gonna be all over the place. When I first watched it, I watched it in chronological order because seeing some of the plot beats out of order, especially when some of the things end up technically being spoilers for stuff that happens later on, it's very strange. But hey, it is what it is. And that definitely inspired some other anime to try and do stuff in different order. I remember it was Toka Geton, which is an anime adaptation of a visual novel. They aired the episodes in reverse chronological order. So in episode 1, you know the protagonists die and get reincarnated, and then the rest of the series is finding out what happened. So it was very weird by the time you get to episode 1 and they're like complete strangers. But at least that made it very easy to be like, nah, I want to watch this in chronological order. Just start from episode 26 and work backwards. How do you, like, if you do it in chronological order, it's like episode 9, then 4, then 6. Like, it's all over the place. Remember being confused because they had it in both orders? Yeah. Trying to keep up with it weekly was something back in the day. Alrighty. That's gonna be it for me then. Gonna go feed the cats, chill out, stretch, and I will see you guys in a few hours. So, if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on up to bed. Until next time, take care of yourself. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat a good food, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.